Yeah, I find it a nightmare. 7.5 laps instead of 3 3/4 laps is just boring. Um, and it just goes on and on and on. But you guys are just all over and done with in 27 seconds. So, yeah. Awesome.
How about your diet?
Diet? Well,
Keep off the fats.
well, not so much. I mean, because I burn so much energy, I have to take in quite a bit, so it's calories in versus calories out, and if I'm exerting a lot of energy I need, and that's not to say that I go down to get KFC for my intake, but you've got to ensure that you're putting the good fuel in your body, in the tank. So I just keep it balanced. I have plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables, but from time to time I'll have a pizza, or something like that, but generally keep it nice and balanced. You sort of stir fry meals of rice or pastas. I have one fish meal a week and one chicken meal a week and one steak meal, just to keep protein. Yeah. So I'm not as meticulous as perhaps other athletes. But my weight hasn't changed in about 17 years, and also in terms of I use a bit of I take protein as a supplement for when I'm doing a hard training session or a hard race, because that's diet on race day or training day has been an issue for me in the past, because I don't know if over 200 you probably don't get it, but sort of vomiting at the end of races or hard training sessions and things. So to eradicate that, I've started to take a little protein drink, which is less stuff in my stomach but still giving me the amount that a meal would sort of give me. Yeah.
So, before a training session or race, how long before should you eat?
I do my protein stuff. So if I take you through a race day, if I race, most of my races are at night, so they're probably around between 7 and 9 o'clock at night.
Late.
So I would get up in the morning and have a really big breakfast, sort of fill my boots there, and then just have a meal at about 2 o'clock, which will be pretty boring, banana and bread, cereal bars,
Working there last 14 years.
that sort of thing, and have some energy drink. Not if I have Powerade, I'd always buy that because it's too much sugar, just in straight Powerade.
Water.
Yeah.
My mum tells me to.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. And then about 2 hours out, I'll just take about 500 ml of this protein concentrate drink we've got.
Is it nice?
It kind of tastes like caramel milkshake, sort of, but you can either have it with milk or have it with water. And on race days, I'll have it with water instead of with milk, so it tastes a lot grosser with water. But straight down the hatch. And here we go.
It's good.
Yeah.
And if you're 800, you need a sprint.
You do, yeah, and that's something that's been drummed into us since I was very, very young. So even though I was a 1500, even 3000 metre runner as a junior, once a week we always had to do a sprint session, a pure speed session where we'd do 30 metres, 60 metres, and then plyometrics, jumping and drills and things like that. Because for us at a championship, a lot of the races will be tactical, so there'll be no pace on for the first 2-3 laps, and then there'll be a big sprint. And if you don't have that top end speed, then
They make you do it again.
yeah, or you're just going to fade to the back, and you're not going to. So sometimes at the Olympics and stuff, you've had guys that are ranked in the top 10, they've run fantastic times, but they just don't advance through to the final because they haven't got a really fast sprint at the end. Which, if you want to be the complete athlete, you need to have that sprint. So we still do that today, and even though I'm 32 now, so that speed has dipped a little bit. My endurance is probably a lot better than it was 10 years ago when my speed's come down just a touch. And that's probably a sign of age.
So in 2012, you're hoping for 800 metre?
I'm hoping for 1500 metre gold.
1500
Yeah,
metre, okay.
I've done. In Sydney I got second in the 1500, in Athens I got fourth in the 1500, and in Beijing I got fifth in the 1500. It's almost been my favourite event. I just haven't nailed it. Last year I dipped under the world record for it in August, so I know that I've still got it, even though I'm over 30. So that's the one that I really, really want. And at the moment, have you had any injuries in your career so far?
I had the calf injury, but because in the last 3 months I've actually grown 5 inches, so maybe it's growing pains.
Yeah, yeah. Is that just is the calf thing?
It's better now.
Better now?
Yeah,
Right.
it's good.
Yeah. Well, I've got an injury at the moment in my Achilles, so I haven't run for 10 weeks, which is a bit annoying. So just working through rehab and stuff, and even though I'm injured, it doesn't mean I stop training. In fact, I probably spend more time training when I'm injured than I do when I'm not. 'Cause a lot of time spent in the gym trying to build up the strength in there and stuff.
So, when I was younger, I used to get a lot of ankle injuries. Are there any types of stretches I could do for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. Like there's a few you can kind of do, and it's like really simple ones that sound a bit silly, and like strengthening around your foot and stuff. So like when you're watching TV, sitting on the floor, you just sit like this.
Just like that.
And that's going to stretch out all these muscles here. Well, not muscles, but the tendons and the ligament. It's really uncomfortable at first, but you just do it for 5 minutes a day. It kind of stretches those out, which then will hopefully lead to some more flexibility around the ankle area and stuff. And also just like this, you'd be in bare feet. You sit like that as well with your big toe kind of flat, and again that's sort of stretching out these muscles, because the feet, there's lots of tendons and stuff in there that don't get a lot of treatment, and they get quite sore and things.
Focus on the big muscles.
Yeah, and even like having a golf ball or a cricket ball that you just run your foot over, all that little fleshy bit in the foot there, if it gets stretched out every day or every 2 days even. Yeah. And even though that's not directly related to your ankle, it all helps. Because at the moment I've got an Achilles injury, but in the past I've had shin injuries and things, and it hasn't been anything to do with my foot. It has, obviously, because the shin's sort of given way, but it was to do with me not being strong up through here. So as I was running, the weight was being deferred, where the impact should have been, like my strong core should have been taking it in, but it wasn't, because it wasn't developed properly, and that was meaning that a lot more stress was being taken into the shin bones and stuff. So yeah, the body's a really interesting machine and stuff, so stretches are really good. I mean, what sort of ankle injuries have you had lately?
Well, because I haven't had many for a long time. Sort of like sharp pain when I walk. Sort of like you've twisted your ankle, and it should go away in a second or two, but it's there, and you let go.
And it doesn't go?
No, but then you stretch it and it goes, and then the next day it's back.
Have you tried just rotating as well?
Yeah, I do that before training.
Yeah. Even if you're not training, even if it's not a training day, just keep that as a habit. Just spend 5-10 minutes a day. If you watch telly, then in front of the telly. If you don't, then just whenever. It's a good habit to get into.
So thank you. I'll use that for myself.
Yeah, do definitely. And if there's any other things that prop up, just I'm happy to help. So about 27.6. So what's coming up then? If you had your first race of the season, you got a good. I'm not having my first race of the season. I know I'm injured now, but even if I wasn't injured, I wouldn't be having my first race till start of July.
Well,
start late.
I do a lot of sprints, but the marathon that's coming up.
Yeah.
I qualified for the mini marathon.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah, 7th. First 8 got through. So I tried to do everything, because I don't know what I am yet.
Okay.
I'll never be long distance, I don't think so.
No.
But yeah, I tried to do everything.
That's awesome. So what, do you know your times of other distances?
I'm not quite sure.
How do you go with nerves?
Nerves?
Yeah. Do you get nervous?
Not really, because obviously you get nervous sometimes, and it's good for you to know what's coming up and everything. But you just have to control it and not think about it.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty mature stuff. Wish I had that sort of brain on me when I was 12. Fantastic.
sorry to interrupt, but the photographer from East End Life wants to just get some shots of you, maybe playing some bocce with
Yeah,
Yasmin or
yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
You can finish